Okay, so you're wanting to know how I meal prep in 95% of my meals in under 30 minutes. And so I'm going to share these hacks with you today. So these are quick meal prep hacks for cheap meal plans, simple meal prep, easy meal prep. This is what I look for when I go grocery shopping and when I'm preparing my meals for the week. So definitely stay tuned to the end because I'm going to share exactly where to find all of my recipes that I absolutely love and that I use actually as kind of my recipe guide for the week. Okay? So first off, I'm going to say there is active and there's passive meal prep. So active meal prep is I need to be doing something to prepare these. And so I'm going to share this is all based on active meal prep time. So yes, there is some passive meal prep time, so take that into account. But this is how I cook so that I spend minimal time actually cooking, and then I can just let it go and it cooks for as long as it needs to. So keep that in mind. The first thing is very simply, I eat a lot of raw food. This took some adjustment, so if you're not used to eating a lot of raw food, it may take time and you may need to practice it by using some of these other strategies as you start to get used to it. But for me, it took some time, but now I use it so much because it's the quickest, easiest thing to do is just take something out of the bag and just be able to eat it right away. There's absolutely no meal prep time unless you need to cut it up and have it with hummus or something like that. The other thing is, you just chop it up and have it with hummus or vinegar. So instead of using fancy dressings, and I do combine different things to make dressing, but I actually found I really just like vinegar and like salt and pepper and maybe some seasonings like basil or cilantro or something like that. I keep it as simple as possible because I really hate all the meal prep time. So just try to make it as simple as possible. Find a combination that you like, keep modifying it, keep tweaking it, playing with it, and eventually you get the hang of how you like it. The next thing is I do a lot of slow cooker meals and also one-pot soups or stews. And this allows me to just kind of throw everything in a pot and turn it on and let it simmer. So you say, well, what about all the chopping? What about all the veggies? Well, that brings me to the third thing, which is using a food processor. And so I know food processors can be one of those things that we just like hide in the back of our cabinets and we're like, I'm never going to use that, I don't use that, then I got to take it out and clean it. Well, I actually really love my Ninja blender because it's combination. I can use it as a blender or a food processor. I've gotten really used to using it as a food processor. So like I have a super stew that needs onions, garlic, carrots, and like different veggies and stuff. All I do is throw it all in the food processor, pulse it a couple times, and I have it all. And I just dump it in the pot and turn it on. It takes a couple minutes, and it's really, really simple. So those slow cooker meals that, they're going to take the day to cook, but once I've thrown everything in there, I don't have to do anything with it. I just leave it there. So really simple, and you get really good, tasty food. It's really good. The fourth one is to bulk cook and then freeze. And so I do a lot of this. I'll bulk cook quinoa or rice or a grain for the week, and I just have it with everything. I'll get into this a little bit in a second for one of my other points, but I also do potatoes and stuff, and I'll just cook a bunch of them and then just reheat them in my toaster oven or my oven later in the week as I want them. So bulk cooking and then freezing. Again, those soups and stews, you make a big pot of them or you make a sauce or something, and then you just throw it in the freezer, and the next time you need it, you just add it to whatever you're making. So really simple, really easy, and saves a lot of time later when you bulk cook as well, because you're already combining it. So why not just throw in a couple extra of everything, and it makes it really simple and easy. Next one is to peel, chop, and slice most of your veggies for the next couple days that then you can bake and saute and combine later. So for instance, if you want to have some saute, just chop up the veggies, chop up the carrots, the broccoli, the peppers, and then the next couple of days all you have to do is just throw them in the pan and saute them, because we really don't want to cook those veggies that we want to saute and then reheat them every day. That's pretty nasty. So all you have to do is just cut them up, and then they're ready to go for the next couple of days. And you can also combine them into different recipes. And so say I want to have tacos, and I'm going to have that soup, and I'm going to have some fajitas, or I'm going to use the veggies on top of pasta or something like that. So I can use them in all different ways, but I've just bulk chopped everything that I need, and it's really simple. Then everything doesn't get all messy all the time. My hair's getting stuck up there with this wind. And then I don't have to keep meal prepping at each day and getting those ingredients or getting those tools dirty every day, all the dishes. I hate doing dishes, guys, so trust me. I try to make it as simple and brief as possible. And let's see. Also baking, so you don't have to babysit things. I know sometimes when we saute or we put things in a pot and we have to keep babysitting it and taking care of it. I do this a lot with potatoes, broccoli. I'll combine the broccoli with red onion and cauliflower and things like that, and then I just throw that in the oven and bake it for a short time. And again, I'll share my recipes with you after this. And all I do is just bake them, and then I make a sauce on the stovetop, and I have dinner within a really, really short amount of time. That's minimal prep cook time. And then let's see, it also evenly cooks it, because sometimes in a saute pan you can't really evenly cook everything. And let's see, number 7. So we can create different sauces. And so like I mentioned, I have a simple vegan cheese sauce. I have a simple barbecue sauce that you just throw everything in the pot. You don't even have to chop it. You just throw everything in the pot, and then it boils down. Super healthy, absolutely nothing other than actual fruits and veggies and things that are good for you. And you throw it in the pot, and it reduces and becomes a sauce. You put it in, again, the food processor or blender. It makes it nice and smooth. And then I freeze some of it. I'll make several recipes at the same time. I freeze it, and then I have it anytime that I want to throw it on some veggies that I've baked in the oven. Are you beginning to see how much I really don't like long meal preps? Let's see, also smoothies. I use smoothies actually quite frequently, maybe a couple times a day, because I have a lot of food that I need to eat as far as my nutrition, especially with my activity level. And just keeping my mind mentally healthy, these smoothies really help a lot. So it hides the greens, so I can put a cup of spinach in there, a cup of kale, and then a bunch of fruits, and I have a superfood shake mix that I add into it as well, and that gives me a lot of nutritional value. So having those kind of smoothies is really, really helpful, because I really think the least about that kind of meal as far as like prep time, because you just throw it in the blender and it's all done. So if you love smoothies, or if you want to give them more of a try and try different things. I used to think it was weird to have green smoothies, but then I started to get used to it. So just trying new things. You can also add chia seeds, peanut butter, hemp seeds, and that's going to give you some proteins and healthy fats in there as well. Got other people. Number 9 is meal prep based on using the same veggies and same ingredients for different purposes. And so again, meal prep based on using the same veggies and same ingredients for different purposes. So like I mentioned earlier, with whether you do fajitas or tacos or chilies and stews, or cutting veggies for hummus, or try to think about similar ingredients that you can use for different things throughout the week, and that's going to save you time in the prep as well, save you dirtying dishes, because you can just prep a bunch of it at the same time and then just use it in different ways to keep up that variety. A lot of us don't like eating the exact same thing every single day, so that's going to help to keep that variety in there. And then 10th tip, last but not least, is having things like oatmeal, trail mix, granola, simple combinations that they don't need cooking, and they really require minimal meal prep. So that's gonna also help with the time as well. So I do oatmeal, cream of wheat, and I actually have a really good granola recipe that I like to bake, and with that, you just combine it all in a big bowl. You bake it for, I think it's like 15 or 20 minutes, maybe at most no, it's not 30. It can't be 30. It'd be 10 to 15 minutes. And then I have granola, and I have that with my shake each morning for breakfast. Or I'll fix some oatmeal with it and just have some dried fruit or fresh fruit, or even frozen fruit, but it kind of makes it cold sometimes. And those kind of things are really going to help to keep it simple and keep it short. So those are my clean eating meal prep ideas. That's exactly what I use each week, because like I said, I do not like to prep for a long time. I used to do it when I first started meal prepping. I thought, in order to meal prep, I need to have like a different recipe for each meal, and I need to do this, I need to do that, and it was like, I cannot keep up with this. This is way too much time and energy and effort and dirty dishes, and I was getting angry. Guys, you don't need to get angry with meal prep. You can really find ways to make it work for you. So, as I promised, the resource that I have for you is actually my Pinterest board. I want you to visit that link in the comment section below, or in the description section below. My Pinterest board has all of my different recipes that I've found on the internet, found on our nutrition and fitness platform. They have recipe books, recipe guides, and things on there. So I've included some of those resources that are free and available on my Pinterest board as well, so you can check those out. If you're needing more detailed information, obviously I can set you up as in our group so that you can get the recipe books and stuff for that as well. But otherwise, there are so many free resources out there, and all of my favorite recipes are on that Pinterest board. Unless, like I said, they're in the paid platform. So let me know how I can be helping you and how I can be supporting you. Of course, like and share and comment below with your favorite tip, or if you have any other tips that you're like, oh, you didn't mention this one and I really like this one. That's helpful as well. So let's help each other out and share some of these resources with each other. So thanks again. I love you guys. And again, never lose sight of yourself in the service of others. Love you guys. Bye.